A once groundbreaking talk show now teetering on the edge of irrelevance, a host under fire for controversial comments, and a corporate culture war playing out on national TV. Welcome to the latest chapter of The View, a story where daytime drama spills far behind the coffee table and into boardrooms, Twitter feeds, and dinner conversations. At the center of it all is Sunny Hostin, a polarizing figure whose very presence seems to fuel both ratings and outrage. But this isn't just about one person or one show. It's about what happens when entertainment, politics, and corporate agendas collide. Why is one of television's longest-running talk shows struggling to find its footing? Why are corporations suddenly cooling on diversity initiatives they once championed? And how does Sunny Hostin fit into a much larger narrative about public figures and the price of polarizing opinions? Let's unravel this tangled web piece by piece and see what it tells us about the state of entertainment and leadership. But before we get started with this whole drama, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest news going on in Hollywood. First, let's address the elephant in the room: the growing backlash against diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives. By 2025, it's going to be crystal clear. Some corporations will have completely abandoned their DEI agendas, while others will double down like it's the last hand of poker, and they're betting the house. Think of it as a tale of two strategies. One group says, let's embrace the future, while the other whispers, let's quietly tiptoe back to the 1950s. We're already seeing the cracks forming. Jaguar, for example, is under fire for leaning hard into DEI, and the fallout has been fascinating to watch. Are they the trailblazers of a brave new world, or are they driving straight into a PR ditch? We'll dig into that scandal another time. It's a whole story on its own. But here's the kicker. DEI isn't just a corporate buzzword anymore. It's become a battleground. Some companies swear by it, calling it essential for unity and progress. Others are discovering that, in practice, it's more complicated than it looked on the PowerPoint slides. And then there are people like Sunny Hostin, who have turned DEI into a moral crusade, wielding it like a sword to defend their positions. Which brings us to The View. It's the morning show equivalent of a reality TV reunion, loud, chaotic, and filled with enough passive-aggressive barbs to fuel a decade of therapy. At the heart of the storm, Sunny Hostin, the panelist who can simultaneously stir the pot and cry foul when the soup splashes back on her. Now don't get me wrong, The View has always thrived on drama. It's practically in their mission statement. But lately, the show feels less like a lively debate and more like an echo chamber with occasional bursts of squabbling. That's why ABC is reportedly cooking up a spicy plan. Replace Sunny with someone who can really bring it. Someone willing to stand up to Whoopi and Joy instead of just nodding along or ranting in her own bubble. ABC is betting that a little conflict will rekindle audience interest. Because nothing says must-see TV like watching grown adults bicker over coffee and politics. But here's where it gets really juicy. Sunny, bless her heart, isn't exactly handling criticism with grace. Facing backlash for her comments, many of which have been labeled inflammatory, she's taken a defensive stance. Recently, she lamented, "This country is mean and judgmental." Complaining about people being judgmental while on a show, literally designed for judgmental hot takes, is like a chef complaining that the kitchen's too hot.
We talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock,
misogyny,
knock.
sexism.
Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
She also claimed her words are being taken out of context. And sure, we've all had a moment where we've said something we wish we could rephrase. But for Sunny, these moments are starting to stack up like a Jenga tower teetering on the edge of collapse. Her latest statement doubled down on this narrative, blaming a false narrative and, wait for it, bigotry. According to Sunny, the backlash isn't her fault. It's society's fault. Classic deflection move. But the real jaw-dropper was her swipe at a certain political figure. Without naming names, she said, "The same people twisting my words want to live under a man for the next 4 years." Subtlety? Who needs it when you can just toss out a political grenade and see where it lands? It's a bold move, but it's not exactly helping her case.
Well, now what he has done is
Yeah.
he's withdrawn the cases. The judge has said they are withdrawn without prejudice. What that means is you can bring them again. But the problem is because he's the sitting president, you can't continue the prosecution and the statute of limitations will likely run out when he's done. He did what he wanted to do, but the last final point I'll make, I know that most people are saying, well, this was a kitchen table issue. This was about the cost of eggs.
Here's where the speculation gets wild. Sunny's reportedly aware of the chatter about her possible removal, and it's not just idle gossip. Sources suggest ABC is actively considering bringing in someone more polarizing or even canceling The View altogether. Now, do I think the show will get the axe in 2024? Not likely, but by 2025, all bets are off. The ratings have been as unpredictable as a cat on a Roomba, and if things don't stabilize, ABC might just pull the plug. What's ironic is that the network's strategy to save the show might actually seal its fate. Banking on more conflict and controversy might bring a temporary ratings bump, but it's not a sustainable long-term plan. Viewers aren't stupid. They can tell when a show's trying too hard to manufacture drama. And once that trust is gone, so is the audience. Sunny's struggles on The View are emblematic of a larger issue with celebrities and public figures. They keep dragging politics into places where people don't want them. Nobody tunes in to watch a morning talk show host to preach about societal woes or to hear a celebrity rant about the latest political controversy. They're there to be entertained, informed, or at the very least, distracted from their own problems for an hour. But instead of reading the room, Sunny doubles down, blaming the public for their reactions. It's a trend we're seeing more and more. Celebrities and corporate leaders refusing to take accountability and instead pointing fingers at the audience. Pro tip, if your audience doesn't like what you're saying, yelling at them isn't the way to win them back. And then there's the DEI angle. Sunny's tying her defense to the broader conversation about diversity and inclusion, framing the backlash against her as part of a larger societal issue. It's a clever tactic, but it's also risky. For one, it assumes the audience is on board with her perspective, which, judging by the criticism she's faced, they're not. And two, it conflates legitimate criticism of her behavior with a rejection of DEI principles as a whole. Meanwhile, corporations are having their own identity crisis. Some are sticking to their DEI guns, like Jaguar, while others are quietly backing away, hoping no one notices. The truth is, DEI was always going to be a tough sell, not because the principles are flawed, but because the execution often feels performative. Companies treated it like a checklist instead of a genuine commitment, and now they're reaping the consequences. So, what's the takeaway here? For Sunny, the clock is ticking. Whether she gets replaced or not, one thing's clear. Her current approach isn't working. For The View, the future looks uncertain. If ABC's plan to shake things up backfires, we could be witnessing the end of an era. And for DEI initiatives in corporate America, the road ahead is rocky. Success will depend on whether companies can move beyond token gestures and actually make meaningful changes. What do you think about Sunny, The View, and the DEI debates shaking up the corporate world? If you guys liked today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.